By the end of, say, maybe mid-'79, the only people playing punk music left were the people who really wanted to be there. And so there was this big split, which meant punk went more underground and got more intense, more purist in a way, which is both good and bad, and more hardcore.
The genre hardcore. It's American as, you know, fake wars and apple pie and baseball. It's when that fuck yeah guy got a guitar. He does that in the 7-Eleven parking lot. What the fuck you looking at? That's his band. Okay, now he's got a guitar.
Bands that I loved, that I consider hardcore punk, it's probably the best way to say it, were bands like Black Flag, Circle Jerks. Dead Kennedys are a phenomenal band. They had so much great stuff to say.
Got this sick sense of humor that other people have, but they're not showing in their bands. What can I do with that? Plus, what would happen if I took the horror of Alice Cooper, but made it about real things that happen to people? Instead of vampires and monsters, police brutality. You know, there was punk, and then there was more extreme punk, and people were calling it hardcore. They were surfers, they were skateboarders, and in some cases, they were very violent surfers and skateboarders. So out came the song Nazi Punks Fuck Off.
The Dead Kennedys also got tagged with that hardcore punk thing. Most people would concur it was kick-started by the appearance of The Damned. They came here very early in April 1977, caused a sensation. The Bags came up, Bags, the Germs, the Weirdos, the Screamers, you know, that another great band that actually never recorded, which is one of these biggest disappeared, undocumented legend of all time.
The Screamers were one of the most important influences on Dead Kennedys. As I said, there was both British stuff was influencing us, but also there was so many things right in our backyard that are largely unknown.
The Screamers show, I think, was probably my first punk rock show that I went to, official punk rock band, punk rock show.
Every scene needs a center. Every scene needs a set of characters, a clubhouse.
I think without the Masque, it wouldn't have grown, it wouldn't have flourished.
There was, you know, a bit of the glam rock clique from West LA that coalesced around the Germs, the art school crowd that coalesced around the Weirdos.
East Coast, dirty cities, small, a lot of people, people living high, stacked on top of each other, a lot of street crime, polluted skies, the ocean comes up to your ankle and there's a dead guy floating in it. To California, sun, fun, beautiful girls, surfing, and punk rock. How can you have sun, hot chicks, surfboards, oranges, and punk rock?
A lot of people mistakenly think that because it's happening in California, sunny California, where kids are at the beach, that they have great lives, but, you know, you could have a messed up life anywhere.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, gotta go!
On the East Coast, often it's at a little faster beat per minute, just because East Coast people, like what I am, we talk faster, we talk more, we're more in your face. Fuck you means fuck you, not hey, let's do lunch next week. It's on. And the music reflects it. Agnostic Front could have never come out of L.A.
It kind of went from punk to the new wave to the artsy stuff, and we weren't really nothing about that. We wanted just pure aggression. You know, that's where you start doing the circle pits and stuff and slam dancing.
Skinhead army, crucify the ocean. Crucify, skinhead army, crucify the ocean.
Guys touching each other, sweating, flesh, pectoral muscles, very homoerotic. You say, fellas, stop fighting, get a room, get it over with.
Yeah. But lyrically now there was changes. There was bands like Minor Threat coming up with saying, like there was a straight edge movement, you know, which they considered no drink, no smoke, no fuck, whatever that was about.
The straight edge scene was coined, say in Washington, D.C. with the Teen Idols or Minor Threat. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't fuck. You know, it was a way of self-control. It was a counterculture to the counterculture.
Fugazi, it's one of Ian MacKay's many bands. Ian had the Teen Idols, Ian had Minor Threat, which was a hugely influential band in this country. Fugazi has a few things they did and did not do, which were huge. First off, Fugazi will not do an interview in any publication that has ads that have liquor or tobacco in them. So Rolling Stone is like, pretty please do an interview? Sorry. Can you do it? Can you do an issue with no liquor or tobacco? No, then we can't talk to you.
Black Flag was hanging around. They were kind of like the second generation of bands. They were, this was even pre-Henry, because Henry was in Washington, D.C. This was the first generation of the band, Keith Morris.
We always had this just, like, go for it attitude. Like, you can't wait around for somebody to do something for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I think a lot of that came out in the Black Flag music.
At first, relax, get set, get the message from time, yeah!
When Black Flag started in '79, I think Henry Rollins joined, I think it was 1982. So Henry comes into it, he's more an East Coast figure. You know, that his, I guess, punk credentials came more from the Washington, D.C. side of it.
There's songs about cops, there's songs about killing yourself, there's songs about depression, the women who leave. The car has no brakes, and we're flooring it. We're gonna hit something. So what? It's Black Flag.
I walk by your house, if you are home.
They were the first band that were smart enough to tour and, you know, actually had their shit together enough to tour. And so that really helped them a lot, and helped us all a lot.
Black Flag's going through, the Dead Kennedys are going through, the independent labels are all swapping records, many, you know, independent distribution is coming along. America kind of ignites between summer '79 and summer '81. Bam!
One night, a band from Washington came up here, and they were a black band, and they were playing, well, they said they were a hard rock band, punk band, and this was the Bad Brains.
See, I heard people telling me I played hardcore. I didn't know what the fuck hardcore was. I never even said hardcore in my life. I always thought hardcore was porno, like XXX or whatever. The Bad Brain sound is a sound of punk rock from the Dead Boys, a combination of Ramones, Sex Pistols, and Dead Boys. What you got in hardcore is the Bad Brains starting out playing punk rock and getting faster for some reason. If the drummer's bored, Earl, he want to go talk to a girl, he might play the songs all fast. I might be on stage looking at him like, dude, you're pissing me off, man, come on. And next thing you know, it become create like a genre, you know what I mean? Like the speed. Music is fast, we want to try to play a little faster. If the music gets smooth right here, we gotta make it nice and smooth. If the music is gonna get buck wild right here, then they got to get buck wild.
Here you had Puerto Rican skinheads, you had Jewish skinheads, you had black skinheads. Nobody is going to get up on stage and be against anybody here. Otherwise, they'd be torn off the stage and thrown out.
I never would really once hear nobody go, nigga. That shit happened to me in England. The kid who was playing in England, he said, you fucking Yankee nigga, go home. Spit on me and shit. I jumped down, punched him in the face.